internet is like a honeycomb. When you search for nectar, you get stung by bees. Rightly quoted by the Nobel Prize winner Malala Yousafzai. Honorable judges, respected teachers, and all my dear friends, Assalamu alaikum and a fabulous morning to one and all. Today, I stand before you to speak for the motion on the topic, the internet has increased our level of ignorance. Before hopping right into the topic, ignorance in simple language is the opposite of knowledge. It can be divided into simple ignorance, which refers to a person who admits his ignorance. There is complex ignorance, where a person is ignorant but is not aware of it. Although my worthy opponents may say the internet has made enough information readily available, it has also, in many cases, given us false, misinformed or contradicting information about many topics. You will be mind-blown to see information on any side of everything, each citing their own expert sources. The availability of information at your fingertips has given us a toxic combination of a generation ignorant about history, basic mathematical concepts, and the ability to read and write. The pioneering neuroscientist Michael Merzenich said, "Those who read text with links or watch busy multimedia presentations or get distracted by emails, updates, etc. get more distracted, remember or understand less than those who don't." We have been programmed to feel rather than think critically, and have tailored our beliefs without curiosity rather than questioning and exploring. Social media websites are teeming with misconceptions which many people blindly believe. Taking an instance, you can open WhatsApp and count the number of false ratings attributed to the Prophet and see how easily we are trapped by these rumors. Hence, our society has become mindless consumers of data. We have been blind to the damage we are doing to our society. In the pre-internet age, people were forced to think, reason, and put together a well-argued case, and as a result, the world witnessed the miracles of legends like Albert Einstein, Isaac Newton, etc. Now, feeling smart without necessarily being so is simple. All you need is an internet connection. Apparently, Googling things can make us feel more intelligent. To conclude, while the internet has contributed to the slow and marginal reduction of overall ignorance, it has solidified and reinforced certain pockets of ignorance. And if this continues, mark my words, brothers, we are planting our own seeds of destruction. That's all from my side. Thank you.
Well done. Now let's... Back, you know. A few generations ago, people didn't have a way to share information and express their opinions efficiently to a lot of people. But now, they do. Right now, with the social networks and the tools on the internet, all of these 600 million people have a way to say what they are thinking and have their voice be heard. Respected dignitaries, honorable panel of jury, respected teachers, my dear friends, last but not the least, our dear opponents, Assalamu alaikum rahmatullahi barakatuh. Today, I stand before you to speak against the notion that internet has increased our level of ignorance. I strongly oppose the given topic. Simply because some get distracted doesn't mean that we must kill the internet, as so many people around the world gain access to the tools of digital age. Therefore, the internet plays a major role in everyday life. And so far, people of developing and emerging nations say that the increased use of internet has been a good influence on the aspects of education. In olden times, the society was not developed. There was no news or detailed information about anything, anywhere. If an intellectual, VVIP, traveled abroad or domestic, there was no news instantly available. Only the patience of months or years resulted a letter through which the communication was possible. Gradually, the phones emerged. Then the most advanced and the latest feature of this world emerged, which was nothing but the emergence of the internet, which changed and brought the greatest revolution in this world. Didn't the internet provide information of one continent to another continent, one country to another country, one state to another state in all aspects of life? Yes, it has provided the information with the largest and the farthest extent. Then why do my opponents blame that the internet is only the cause for the increased level of ignorance? If a student has to memorize a biography on a specific famous personality, then according to my worthy opponents, they say that the internet has increased our level of ignorance. Then do my opponents want us to sit in library, serve the specific book of biographies, serve the specific name, take out the pin number, take out the main points, jot down those main points, copy it down, and finally memorize it? The simplest form in this modern world, just hook onto internet, have a mere typing. The thing after which you have been working for hours is in front of you in a matter of minutes, just as if you are something of Aladdin's lamp. Doesn't it sound better than the tough and rigorous person in the library? Yes, my friends, it sounds much more better than that. Then, in fact, the internet is helping to reshape our very foundation education by both allowing the individuals to learn from the comfort of their homes as well as training them to be the entrepreneur moguls. I would like to conclude my speech by saying that a man can lead a horse to the pond, but hundreds of men cannot make him drink. Jazakallah khair.
That was A1 with its convincing thoughts.
The internet has been a boon and a curse for everyone, which leads the world to a great ignorance, was a famous quote, rightly said by J.K. Rowling. Respected panel of jury, honorable dignitaries, friends, and last but not the least, my worthy opponents, good morning to all. Today, I stand before you to speak on the topic, the internet has increased our level of ignorance and for the motion. Technology, internet, browsing, chatting, etc. are the oft-quoted words of the teenagers nowadays. Andrew Brown have rightly said that the internet is so big, so powerful and pointless that for some people it is a complete substitute for life. The problem does not lie in the availability of a piece of information. It is actually in how we analyze this information and its sources to find out if it is correct or just a rumor. Ignorance of facts, subjects, reality, and also ignorance of how ignorant we have become as a nation have set us up for an epic fall. Don't you think from this, these activities have added up to the ignorance in us? It is a fact that the IQ level of humans has gone down considerably. The informatics of today are ignorant of this fact that in their passion for the quest of knowledge, they have become slaves to internet. In 2005, a woman in South Korea became known as the dog poop girl online after it was identified that she failed to pick up her pet's mess on the subway. Report says that she had quit her university as a result of consequent harassment after her name and photograph was published in online. Why don't you realize, my watching opponents, the internet addiction has a severe impact on our privacy. Nowadays, we hear and experience a lot of privacy issues in internet. The real reason behind this is no doubt our ignorance, which is brought about by our obsession with the internet. The internet is a wonderful tool, but technology is increasing faster than safety message is, was said by Pam Weaver. My misguided opponents, have you heard of a present-day Einstein or an Edison? Does that not prove that? In spite of a global increase in population, the likes of such geniuses are unheard now. Internet has hampered the growth of such intelligence. Everyone has become a solitary island, and the credit goes to the notorious internet. Electronic devices have overshadowed human emotions and feelings. Using calculators by people was something unthinkable in the late 90s, as they had an incredible mind. But now, everyone completely depends on the internet to get information. It is good, but not able to recall our memory about what knowledge we have gained is awful. Isn't that a proof of human ignorance and the degradation of human memory? So finally, I conclude my argument by saying that the ignorance-enhancing negatives outweigh the ignorance-diminishing positives. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Now,
To technology, reality must take precedence over public relations, for the nature cannot be fooled. Rightly said by Richard Feynman. Respected dignitaries, honorable panel of jury, beloved teachers, my dear friends, and not to forget my worthy opponents. Assalamu alaikum and a fabulous morning to one and all. Today, I'm here to express my opinions against the topic. This topic is Internet has increased the level of ignorance. My dear worthy opponents, Internet has uplifted the level of technology. It has connected one person to other by the means of information through communication. It is acting as a source of information. It is the reason by which we are able to communicate with our loved ones in a very easy, effective and reliable manner. Information through internet plays a major role by making us an informative person, which defines our personality. Suppose we want to collect information on one famous personality, state, country or any other relevant topic. My friends, they know internet is the best source as it provides us information in a very understandable and accurate manner. By providing information, it has made our work easier. It has made us to submit our assignments on time, giving us good grades and increasing our confidence level, but not increasing the level of ignorance. Through internet, we can get to know about the events taking place in our friend's life, mainly through social network. Thanks to the social network on the internet, which has made the task easy for spreading the information. What about the events taking place in a country? How do we know it through internet? The first source that comes to my mind is the news. News through internet plays a crucial role for spreading the information instantly. On the internet, you can watch the news, read the news, listen to the news, and even react to the news. In every news web page, there is a comment section where you are free to express your feelings against the topic, whether you're in a mood to praise or criticize. If your comment is felt affected by the other users, more and more they will try to like your comment and share it on the social media or the social network. And if they feel any suggestion is needed to give to your comment, they will try to reply to your comment. But what about the countries where the security level is high? How do we know the information about that particular country? Government of countries like Saudi Arabia and North Korea have been undergoing this type of security techniques. For that, it does not spoil the image of the country. Here, the internet plays an important role by spreading the active information, mainly through social media, social network, and news. So my worthy opponents, internet has made us smarter by providing information. It has made for us an easy way by which we are able to communicate. My worthy opponents, do you still claim internet is the reason for the increase in the level of ignorance? Thank you everyone for your patience listening.
Thank you. Moving on, may I now call F3 from the
Ignorance and consign stupidity. Rightly said by Martin Luther King Jr. Honorable members of the jury, respected principal, vice principal, dignitaries, teachers, my dear friends, and not to forget my worthy opponents. I greet you with the greetings of blessings and peace. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and a very fabulous morning to one and all. Today, I stand before you to speak for the motion on the topic, Internet has increased our level of ignorance. Ignorance is defined as being uninformed or not having knowledge. It can also be termed as being unaware of one's surroundings. In this era, Internet is the only thing considered for people being misguided or ignorant. Did you know the blue light emitted by smartphones, laptops, computers, etc. stops the production of melatonin, our sleep hormone, which is the major cause of sleepless nights, especially amongst us teens. We teens require at least 9 hours of sleep, but studies and researches have shown that we teens have a sleeping average of 7 hours, which is very insufficient. This causes depression, stunted growth, decrease in mortality rate, etc. My worthy opponents say that internet has helped increase knowledge. But friends, internet is the main cause of decrease in memory and reading skills. When we start reading an article on the internet, we have made a habit of skimming the information we are reading. That is, we see or read what we are interested in and ignore the rest, thus narrowing our views and knowledge. Now, whatever small proportion of knowledge we receive, we are most likely to forget, as there are numerous distractions on the internet, may it be ads, another topic that you're interested in, or your best friend's message notification. So how can knowledge be imparted when there is no memory? Just like Aristotle has said, educating the mind without educating the heart is no education at all. The amount of skimming that can be done is limited when it comes to newspapers, books, etc. Another way in which the internet has made us inexperienced is that we have lost face-to-face contact amongst people. Of course, you say that you chat with 10 or 15 people daily on the internet, but friends, our present generation does not know how to interact with real people in real life, because what we see on the virtual internet is exactly the opposite of real life. This leads to social isolation and similar disorders. I conclude by asking you a question. Do you know the facts we presented before you? If no, then the internet certainly blinded you and thus you were ignorant. If yes, then again, the internet misguided you and again, you were ignorant. Thank you. Have a fabulous day. Peace.
Well, that was convincing.
The internet is becoming the town square for the global village of tomorrow, quoted by Bill Gates. Respected dignitary, judges, teachers, my dear friends, and not to forget my worthy opponents. Assalamu alaikum and a very pleasant morning to one and all. Today I stand before you to speak against the motion on the topic, the internet has increased our level of ignorance. Well, you may ask, what can you do in your town square that you couldn't do on the internet? Well, not a lot besides fetching some ice cream, eating some cake, catching the bus, and not to forget this one, even hanging out with your friends and family. The internet plays an important role in all the aspects of our social life as well. Let's take an example. Suppose you have one of your loved ones living far away from you, say it be India or Canada, and you want to interact with them. Well, okay, you take your smartphone, you take your cell phone, you dial the number, and you interact with them. But what if you want to have a video chat with them? Then you rely on the internet and use softwares like Skype or Google Hangouts and interact with them, making you feel closer to them when you're actually far. Regarding this, I'd like to ask my worthy opponents a question. What if they have their loved ones living far away from them and they want to have a radio chat with them? They surely rely on the internet because they have no other option available. Then how can they blame the internet for being the cause of our increased level of ignorance when it's actually bringing us all closer? But business work, accordingly, has just got so much easier now. Meetings can be conducted on Skype or Google Hangouts, so the people don't have to travel all around the world to get to a particular meeting. We also have something so much similar with our studies as well. We all get homeworks and projects from our schools, don't we? And if we get one, we surely don't take those textbook of ours and keep turning the pages to find the information. Instead, we rely on the internet and we fire up tablets or computers and we find the information through them, making us complete our work in less than an hour. But, oh my, in this era in which we are living in, we are getting curious day by day. We want to know about more new things. For instance, we learn about this new word or topic and we want to know more about it. We surely don't prefer those hard copies of encyclopedias or thesaurus. Instead, we rely on the internet and use our favorite search engine and we find that particular topic's information. And that too, which is loaded in a matter of seconds, a large amount of websites, and you can search through the websites and find the information. And read it out loud so that you yourself and those around you can hear it and get information. I'd like to end up saying that because of the internet, we are far, far more educated today than we ever were. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you.
is no darkness, but ignorance. Rightly said by the Bard of Avon, William Shakespeare. Honorable panel of jury, respected teachers, my dear friends, and not to forget my dear worthy opponents. A warm good morning to one and all. Today I stand before you to speak for the motion. Internet has increased our level of ignorance. Just try to think whether internet has increased or decreased our level of ignorance. Let us first see what ignorance actually is. In simple words, ignorance is just the opposite of knowledge. Firstly, about the effect of internet. Nowadays, any piece of knowledge is available on the internet in the form of ready-to-swallow capsules. As a result, nobody is bothered to work hard in acquiring knowledge through the conventional way of reading and referring. But if we consider this situation, just 2 decades ago, we could have seen people preparing for a speech or a debate by reading different articles, magazines, and a lot of other printed media. When we depend on the so-called universal helper, the internet, we are actually killing our intellectual power. When we read, think, and prepare something, these things unknowingly get stored in our brain, which makes it more easier to present, and eventually it increases an individual's intellectual power. Again, the easy availability of everything just at a click of a button has actually freezed the thinking capacity of an individual. The only input that an individual produces in acquiring knowledge has just shrunk to cut and copy practices. Just Google it has become a common slogan among the teenagers of today. As Thomas Edison puts it, 5% of the people think, 10% of the people think they think, and the other 85% would rather die than think. This quote reflects the thinking capacity of a society and a global easy feeder. The internet has simply killed the most precious segment of our society. The power of thinking, the power of innovation, and the power of self-development. To conclude, I would like to say that everything you see in the world is true unless proven false. But on the internet, it can be the other way around. Everything may be false unless proven true. I would also like to say that dependence on the internet is inversely proportional to the usage of our intellectual power. When we depend more and more on the internet, we are killing more and more of our intellectual power. So let us try to be less ignorant from today and hope that my worthy misguided opponents would kindly rethink their stance. Thank you.
Thank you. Now it's the turn for the opposition team. May I invite A4 from the against team to give away his constructive views.
If it is you and your will by which you change, and if you're not willing to, there's nothing that can change. Honorable dignitaries, respected panel of jury, teachers, judges, and all my dear friends, and not to forget my misguided worthy opponents, Assalamu alaikum, and a very warm and a fabulous afternoon to one and all. Today I stand before you all to express my views against today's topic, that is, internet has increased our level of ignorance. Internet has traveled a very long way in past 5 decades. New innovations such as integrated software and hardware has changed the way that people view and obtain information today.
electronic devices, multimedia are the things that we have to deal with every day. Especially internet, as it is becoming important for nearly each and everybody on this planet, as it is one of the most advanced and the forward-looking media, and not to forget the medium of future. Actually, what I want to convey to you all is that internet has not, will not, and does not increase our level of ignorance, because we can able to access information at any time of day or night. Young children also benefit from this because there are so many websites here to help them in their learning. Let's take for an example, a person needs to go for a foreign interview. He wastes his money and time to go there. But these days, we can do the same thing, just sitting at our home, open our laptop, and we can attend online interviews, which saves one's both time and money. How can my worthy opponent say that internet has increased our level of ignorance when they themselves are using internet for various purposes? How can my worthy opponent say that internet has a large dark side? Let me tell you all something. Each and every dark side has a much larger bright side than we think. And a person's life actually depends on which side he takes, whether the dark side or the bright side. Before the internet came into existence, if you wanted to talk with someone who is not in the same room as us, we can just take a phone and call. But if you wanted to send them a note, we had to write a long letter with all those formalities and send it through a slow mail. That would take months and months to reach, but now we can do the same thing just within the blink of our eye. And not to forget, internet has also made shopping easier. We don't need to drive up to the mall, wait in traffic and waste our time and stand in long queues. We can just sit at our home on our laptop, just a few clicks of our buttons, finish. We have purchased our material. Internet is just like a net and we can easily catch fish if we use it in a better way. I would like to conclude by saying, change the changeable, accept the unchangeable, and remove yourself from unacceptable. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you.
I fear the day when technology overlaps with our humanity. The world will only have a generation of idiots. Albert Einstein had predicted this over 100 years ago, and unfortunately for us, it has come true. Honorable panel of jury, respected dignitaries, teachers, friends, and my worthy opponents. Assalamu alaikum and a fabulous morning to one and all. Today, I stand before you to speak for the motion on the topic, the internet has increased our level of ignorance. The internet, as we all know, plays a very important role in our lives. Without it, our world would come to a standstill. Even though it has given us so many positive qualities, it is undeniably a major factor in increasing our level of ignorance. Before the internet and social media came into existence, we relied on libraries and teachers to seek knowledge. But today, anyone who knows how to surf the web automatically becomes a scholar. And the knowledge this scholar gets is not verified. Moreover, with social media websites being flooded with false information, it has become so easy for a person to get misguided. Just imagine hundreds and thousands of people going astray every single day. Sadly, this is our reality. I do agree with my opponent that people have more access to information than they've ever had before. But before, they had to learn it the hard way. And all that they learned was vetted by professionals for a minimum level of accuracy. Just because some piece of information is internet doesn't mean that it has to be right. People assume that whatever they see on the web is just as strongly researched and unbiased as the information was about 20 years ago. It has encouraged an inflation of knowledge with facts and the belief that every question has one single objective answer. In doing so, high order of thinking skills are being curtailed. After all, innovative and constructive ideas are always born out of intellectual thinking. Let me ask you something. Are we trying to create a generation devoid of thinking skills? The way the internet seems to be progressing says yes. To conclude, we are becoming more ignorant because we just don't have the time or capacity for the extra stress that comes with researching issues, coming up with our own ideas and defending them rather than just Googling it. Thank you and have a nice day.
Thank you.
There is nothing more dangerous than active ignorance. Unquote. Honorable panel of jury, respected teachers, dignitaries, students, and of course, my worthy friends gone astray. Today, I confidently stand here in staunch agreement of the statement that the internet has increased our level of ignorance. Here's the question. What does the internet do for you? How does it bring about change in your life or make things easier for you? This is the answer. All that the internet does for you is get you the information you want in a few clicks. It spares you the time and energy to go and get yourself a book. It brings you everything in one place and all of these benefits at once. But I believe only infants and patients of paralysis can deserve such freedom. And if that is not convincing enough, let me tell you something more. Information available over the internet is most often not authenticated and provides the reader a partial or biased point of view. People are unable to form an independent opinion of the information they get from the internet because it is just unreliable. The internet is just like a train, running really very, very fast, but towards the wrong direction altogether. What's the point? And if you think you're smart enough to save yourself from its traps, maybe you are. Maybe you can once, twice, thrice, but over time you will fall into believing this possible incompleteness. Just the way you cannot sit by a hurricane and only enjoy slight breeze. I know. You'll be asking me, saying, how are all of these ideologies related to our daily practical life? Let me tell you something. You're gonna have to stop ignoring your surroundings and open up your eyes. And when you do, you will see, will come to know, I shall rather say, of a man whose name is Kanhaina Kumar. This man was arrested on sedition charges on the 2nd of February. Over the course of next 20 days, he is assaulted twice, not by a bunch of goons, but a group of lawyers. He is arrested, he is insulted, he is receiving death threats. People are ready to pay 5 lakhs for anyone who can cut his tongue off. 11 lakhs for anyone who can shoot him down. 11 lakhs for anyone who can shoot him down until the forensic reports come in declaring that 3 out of 7 videos were doctored. The nation was in a state of mess and chaos only because of a number of people not asking sufficient questions. And it does not end there. You do not look at these certain simple, basic, fundamental facts and come here debating to determine whether you are ignorant or not. People, your sole presence here is evidence enough for your ignorance. Having given such strong, straight, simple and sensible facts, I do not feel the need to speak any further. And if you yet do not understand, it only further strengthens the statement that the internet has turned you ignorant. Thank you.
Thank you.
Respected dignitaries, honorable panel of jury, and my dearest friends, a fabulous morning to one and all. Today, I stand amidst you to air my views against the topic. Internet has raised our level of ignorance. Today, I stand here to defend that internet has brought vastly more benefits than its losses. The revolution of possibilities brought by the internet has introduced a wide variety which far exceeds the harms it may have accused. This is now proof that internet brings the people of the whole world together, contributing with the deepest of understanding and collaboration, which creates innovative leaps in the human man's knowledge. From curing diseases to dealing with house bugs, every area of expertise can now be accessed and improved in the comfort of your very own house. Now, I want to show you guys the internet has instilled us with the fundamental sense of interconnectedness. Now, some of my friends, but worthy opponents, must say that internet is used for other purposes, other negative purposes. Did I ever say that? No, no one ever must have said like that. Neither is fire, right? But people
Assalamu alaikum and a very warm morning to everyone present here. The internet, a sprawling virtual world where people share knowledge, gain knowledge, interact and have discussions, but the internet is also a cesspool of rumor and chicanery, where 85% of the knowledge spread is false, according to a study done by a famous research blog, the Science Blog. One of our generation's biggest problem is that most of us act on the basis of cooked up information we receive. Such cooked up information is mostly available on the internet. Unfortunately, this false information does have the power to harbor hate, to produce darkness, to create enmity, and ultimately to end human lives. The Muzaffarnagar riot 3 years back were caused due to a misunderstanding spread on the internet. An MLA was arrested after investigation proved him guilty for uploading a fake and doctored video via the internet that show a Muslim mob brutally murdering a few of the Hindu youth. This video went viral and resulted in 62 people being killed in this riot caused by the ignorant people who decided to forward and share that false video. Those were the 62 documented, and I emphasize, documented deaths in those riots. What about the thousands that go undocumented every other day due to all the other misconceptions making rounds on the internet? In 2008, a news column on CNN's website stated that the then CEO of Apple, Steve Jobs, had died, and that Apple stocks were about to crash. This led to many people withdrawing their shares from Apple and resulted in a $4.8 million loss for the company. This forced the company to postpone various salaries of various employees for weeks and even the firing of some of their staff members. Let me ask you, is the death of those 62 human beings justified? Do people deserve to die? Do people deserve to lose their jobs? Do people deserve to lose their lives because of those ignorant people who choose to forward and share such messages? All of us can stop lives from ending and money from being wasted if we avoid ignorance. And the only way to do so is if we check who is an expert and who's not. If we stop sharing stuff we have no information about, no knowledge about, no awareness about. If we ourselves verify each and every statement we get from the internet through authentic sources. I would like to end by quoting Sir William Osler, where ignorance prevails, real knowledge can never prevail. Thank you.
Respected dignitaries, honorable judges, beloved teachers, my dear friends, and not to forget my worthy opponents. Assalamu alaikum and a fabulous morning to one and all. Today, I stand here to speak against the motion the internet has made us ignorant. As we sail through the 21st century, the internet is becoming an integral part of our lives. We use it to communicate, to get updated about the current affairs by reading the online news. We use it in almost every walk of our lives, and there are a lot more things which the internet makes easy for us. You say the internet makes you ignorant? Now I must say, the internet can be looked at as a means to access, express, impress, and do much more. It is a storehouse of information and the biggest source of knowledge that is easily accessible to just anyone in the world. It gives everyone accessing it a platform to share their views with the world. You do have an email account, don't you? Email accounts have such great storage capacities that they can store much more than just written communication. Owing to the increasing volumes of its uses, from craft ideas for kids to school projects, there are plenty of websites available to help you for free. There are those which give DIY procedures, health tips, and investment advice, thus proving to be of great help in daily living. The web serves as the biggest source of entertainment these days. Cartoon series, educational films, and even tutorials transactions. As consumers are turning towards the internet to buy goods, businesses are promoting themselves using the same medium. Fields like online marketing and internet advertisements have boomed because of the growing use of the internet. Products and services can be advertised more effectively over the web through tools like feeds, newsletters, and online advertisements. The internet has made it easy for business to reach potential customers and also promote their brand. So, my worthy opponents, do you still think the internet makes us ignorant? If yes, then why do you run towards it if you're stuck doing any of your assignments? I would like to end up quoting Scott Cook, who said, "We are still in the first minute of the first day of the internet revolution." Thank you.
Thank you. A great person once said, "Internet is like a spider web. It looks like a beautiful masterpiece, but ends up getting you trapped." Respected dignitaries, my worthy opponents, and all my friends over there, Assalamu alaikum and a fabulous morning to one and all. Today, I stand before you to speak for the motion on the topic, Internet has increased our level of ignorance. Perhaps, what's Internet? A specified technology or web which cognizes virtually all the information to exaggerate humans' necessity, easier and convenient. But the web has made us more lazy and ignorant. Let me spot a scene of school. The teacher says, "You got 10 days to submit this assignment." Student in mind, "That's not a big deal. I got Wikipedia, copy and paste. I'm literally done with my assignment." Yes, this is the scenario with most of the students. Nobody scrutinizes the information on the internet, and this means anyone can post whatever they like and claim it to be true. Don't you see the irony? Furthermore, people are ripening to daft and daft due to these aid from websites like Wikipedia, etc. And as my geography teacher said, we are just potential resource at the moment. Youngsters have chosen the ignorance inflicted upon their brains by spending thousands of hours twittering, Facebooking, texting, seeking out adorable cat videos, rather than gaining a true understanding of the world by reading Steinbeck, Huxley, and Orwell. Sad moment is, technology has reduced our ability to think and has increased our ignorance. Recently, tons of pages pop up with some worldwide unknown facts where 70% of them are just cooked up so that they can get more promotion for their particular page. They have stuff like video games will increase the creativity and skills of mind in youngsters, and it turned out to be a diamond weapon for them to debate with their parents so that they can play more but not outside, inside. Due to this terror in youngsters, Cambridge University of England conducted research and scientifically proved that video games makes the youngsters evil-minded or criminal-minded, shows the signs of Alzheimer, hallucination, etc. Isn't this enough to prove that internet has raised the level of ignorance in human? People believe everything with their closed eyes just by the tag of internet, some fake news but posted in internet, fact pages, so on. Before concluding, my opponents may say that internet helps us to save time. For what, brothers? To become more ignorant? That's all from my side. Thank you.
For teachers, it's a teaching aid. For students, it's a source of information. For businessmen, it's a stock market holder. And for my worthy opponents, it's one of the sources to prepare your speeches. What is it? It's internet. When it has become a source of information for so many people, then why is it considered to be the reason for increasing ignorance? Respected dignitaries, honorable panel of jury, beloved teachers, my dear charismatic friends, and not to forget my worthy opponents. Assalamu alaikum and a fabulous morning to one and all. Today's topic of debate is the internet has increased the level of ignorance. Well, I believe that one should follow what their heart says. And my heart says a big no. It says that the internet has not increased our level of ignorance. And it is pretty sure that every person sitting over here, including my worthy opponents, believe from the depth of their heart that the internet has not increased our level of ignorance. Well, we strongly believe in Stephen Hawking's words that we are all connected by the internet, like neurons in a giant brain. With the advancements in internet, it's like opening the world's largest public library, which every home has an access to. So my dear opponents, doesn't increase or decrease ignorance. My claim would be that the internet has tremendously decreased ignorance. With global news available through any number of media portals and the instantaneous ability to transmit information around the world in a heartbeat. The huge amount of data readily accessible and the instantaneous way in which we can communicate is definitely no less than a miracle. The internet has allowed us to much more easily reinforce our subjective viewpoints. Nowadays, if I'm in a discussion with a friend and a point comes under conflict, we can quickly check Wikipedia. The internet is the easiest means of communication in this generation. And I can say that it's almost impossible you try to be in constant touch with your relatives without using internet. On the other hand, being social and using social media as an entertainment tool, there are many useful talks. For example, a true situation that took place was with a lady who went through brain hemorrhage. Her husband shared this news on Facebook. Luckily, one of his Facebook friends who was in USA was a doctor by profession, who went through the reports, and after seeing the patient's condition on webcam, he gave complete line of treatment. Believe me, now that lady is fit and fine just because of internet. And my worthy opponents, understand and don't be ignorant. In fact, ignorant people are no more ignorant, but knowledgeable people are more knowledgeable. To conclude my speech, I would like to quote a famous saying by Noam Chomsky. The internet could be a very positive step towards education, organization, and participation in a meaningful society. Well, still you feel internet is to be blamed for the ignorance that has been framed. The culprit is lack of hard work and has not yet been framed. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Thank you. My opponent has painted a rosy scene on the topic. My friends, if you think libraries are so complicated while Wikipedia gives you capsule, Wikipedia themselves admit that most of their information are false or are tampered with. The people who claim to be time savers on the internet are also the one who has problems with spellings, grammars, and it turns out their favorite search engines because it has autocorrect turned on their phones. My opponents have chosen comforting ignorance over disconcerting knowledge. And it is due to this reason, our bold cabinet members of this bloc conducted a campaign last week on the dark side of the internet. Not just for 1 or 2 days, for an entire week, specifically stressing on ignorance on the internet. Be so ignorant and close-minded about what's going on, not miles away, but around them. They have proved themselves to be so ignorant. My brothers, please stop copying facts and statistics from the internet and spare some time to open your eyes from the eye gadgets and look at the true world and understand what is happening around you. Before I conclude, I would like to say that I have done my part and it's about time my opponents reconsider their statement. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and a very fabulous afternoon to one and all. After hearing the 8 speeches, if still my friends believe that the internet has increased our level of ignorance, then a simple question arises in my mind that will my opponents blame the teachers as the second cause for the level of ignorance? The answer is absolutely no. For instance, the teacher comes to class, explains, then will my opponents hear it merely or they pay the maximum concentration? They pay the maximum concentration because the teacher explains so that we gain or acquire some knowledge. When the internet is providing information, then can't we pay our maximum attention and knowledge so that we can acquire from the internet? Yes, we can, and prove that the internet has not increased our level of ignorance. Thank you.
Next in row.
Once again, good morning to one and all. Despite the advantages which my worthy opponents claim, let me get down to the core of this issue. The internet is just your virtual reality. I repeat, virtual reality. We receive news quickly, but many times the news is uploaded without getting it properly confirmed and thus misleading the readers. It also shows that you are not using your brain to get information. Business might have developed, but the interrelationship between the owner and the customer has deteriorated. The internet has changed our society dramatically, and this staggering pace at which information is created and disseminated on mobile devices that makes our lives more complicated. I hope even you are spending money for your internet connection. Can you imagine the time when the freedom fighters brought freedom for our country? Is it with the help of internet? No, never. What is the link between Neil Armstrong and the ignorance of internet? It shows that you're going out of topic. How did they announce the results before the internet was discovered? It's actually in newspapers, which is published daily with updates. We too are having email ID. But are we updating it regularly? It's just for namesake. No, we are 10th graders and we need to get better marks for having a better life in future, and we are working hard for it. So, I conclude saying, do not live in an imaginary, illusionary mirage of your own, but act in the living present, heart within and God overhead. Thank you.
Next in line, we have a contest that the light emitted by an electronic gadget is harmful. My worthy opponents, it is the internet itself which has provided alternative ways to prevent the harmful effects, mainly through social media, social network and news. All the factors which are on the internet and are running by the internet. The technological expert has made a solution for this problem. The first solution, LED screen cover, which decreases the reflection of light on our eyes, where we can easily use every gadget in a safe manner. The second, screen brightness option, where we can decrease or increase the brightness of the display according to our use. Internet has been the solution in an instance of completion of work, spreading information and doing the health problems, and in this instance it has made us aware, not ignorant by giving tips to health problems. Thank you.
Moving on, we have the next contestant, F3, with his firm convictions to oppose the against team. Internet has brought the faraway close, I agree. But it has distanced the present really far away. A fabulous afternoon once again. My worthy opponents say that internet has helped increase our present awareness and prevented ignorance and unawareness. Let me present to you a really short story. Me and my friends were just crossing the road when we saw two children who were also crossing the road, busy in the world of internet. Fortunately, since we were not in the dream world of internet, we saw a man driving a car in a very high speed. But the children were too busy to notice that. We saved their lives that day. We explained them what happened, what you got into, but rather they were just confused. attractive and positive. So friends, remember, you have to escape this deadly virtuality. Come towards reality. Be safe and healthy. Remember Almighty, because He's your deity. Thank you. Have a fabulous day. Peace.
Good afternoon once again. Nothing is harder than convincing an unfamiliar truth. My worthy opponents say that the internet is pointless. Facebook, they say, which we often use, has made us ignorant. Then why do all of them have Facebook? Pointless, how can they? Their codes were not made by them. Instead, they came right away from the internet. My worthy opponents say that the internet has a large variety of cons, but no, it has lots of pros too. It helps us in communicating, doing homework, employment, business, general awareness, even it has the power to change the future of a country. Once again, if they think that the internet has increased the level of ignorance and has spread a lot of fake rumors, then why do they all use Facebook accounts? Why can't they stop using it so they don't get any fake rumors on? Thank you.
Moving on, we have
A fabulous afternoon to all. Let me pose a question to my dear guardians of the internet. Why has God Almighty given us a brain? Is it kept inside the skull to prevent oxidation? Or is it just kept inside to prevent rancidity? If internet was enough, then why has God Almighty given us a super perfect brain to reason, to rethink, and to respond? If this wasn't necessary, then God could have given us a head with a net service on it. Why wait for 1969? Why wait for 1969? He could have given it to us in the beginning. Why don't we have mind-blowing discoveries today? Is it because of deficient technology? No, my friends, it's just because today's people live like dogs in a well. Not ready to accept anything out of the box, they become copies themselves. The internet helps you to complete assignments, save time, provides information, and overall, internet is like a deity to you. My heart says a big yes. Internet has certainly made us too ignorant. Why Wikipedia, my friends? Why not your brain? God Almighty has made you and me unique. So use our brains rather than the search engines. And our assignments need our brains, not the Google. Thank you.
well, that was convincing.
A very warm good afternoon to you all once again. My opponents say the internet spawns out our children and wastes their time. But what they said is totally wrong. But there is a solution for each and everything in this world. There are safe search options in internet that prevent children from going to the wrong dark side of the internet. And we parents can tell children to limit the usage of internet. Everything in this world has two sides, just like a coin, good and bad. And everything in this world depends on how we are using it. We should always have a positive attitude to each and everything. Internet helps us to develop ourselves and to help the people in need. And this era is the era of modern technology. And how can you expect us to follow all those ancient methods? Aren't you 10th graders using internet to obtain sample papers for your examination so that you can get full marks? Aren't you all using videos to understand the lessons which you can't understand properly, which your teachers taught at school? intelligent people look forward to the way where it is guiding to. Thank you.
The next speaker.
My opponents have come to the conclusion that the internet is a vast source of knowledge. Wrong. The internet is a vast source of corrupted knowledge. A wrong warning to everyone once again. A few weeks back, the school cabinets of IISJ had conducted a campaign called The Dark Side of the Internet. If the internet is all that my opponents flatter it to be, why would it have a dark side? Have you ever heard of a campaign called The Dark Side of the Library? Obviously not. If the internet is indeed a reliable tool for education, then why doesn't our school, instead of spending truckloads of money on smartboards, why can't they just set up an internet connection for every class? You know why? It's not because the students can misuse it. It's because the students will misuse it. The dangers of the internet are inevitable. One of my opponents has stated that my team may have used the internet to make our speeches more dynamic. Let me ask you, what internet connection did John F. Kennedy and Martin Luther King have when they delivered the most dynamic speeches ever recorded in history? Thank you and have a nice day.
Next in line is A5 to share.
How true are the words of Daniel Ledge? Internet can become the wings that will allow the educational world to fly farther and faster than ever before. Once again, good afternoon to one and all. If people are dying because of weapons, it is not at all the fault of weapons. In fact, it is the fault of the person behind the trigger. I hope you have heard about the PGM Mail Delivery Express that existed long back in ancient history, and then came the postman and so on. Now my worthy opponents claim that the post office and the postman is being ignored. Then what do you have to say about the pigeons? Poor them. They are still being ignored back in the forest. Come on, let's now leave our Audis and BMWs and travel on bullock carts and camels, not to ignore them. This is advancement in technology, dear friends. We humans prefer to move forward rather than going backward. My worthy opponents said we are ignoring the elders. Disagree because I speak to my grandparents who are in India every day through Skype. In fact, my grandmother blesses the person who invented the internet. If you have a brain, then how will my worthy opponents connect with those far away? I think they might use by the motor section of the brain. Thank you.
Good morning all. Hello, my guys. Good morning all. I am F6 and this time I have an apology to make. I'm sorry to all of you present here for having addressed my opponents as worthy. For I have now realized they are far from the path of sensibility. And I have my reasons. I have my reasons for my opinion. They say the internet increases one's information, but fail to answer whether the information is correct or not. Yes, I agree. I agree that it does take time to look up for a single word or about the author, a person in a book. But what about that extra information you gain on your way? You cannot ignore that, people, but you are doing so. They say it connects people. If people can have meetings sitting in their bedrooms, it connects their family members from miles and miles away. But that connection is fueled by disconnection among two people across the table. Is it not true? They say the internet saves money. They say the internet saves money, but ignore the fact that the internet connection in the very first place does not come for free. Open up your eyes, people, and look at the colorful world. Yes, I agree. Yes, I agree that printing newspapers needs a huge amount of papers. And I am ignoring the Mother Nature attack. But at the very same time, let me also tell you that I also am an internet user. Thank you.
Good afternoon once again. One of my opponents told that internet does not give us information. My friends, within a single click, we come to know the whole world in front of us. They told that we can understand anything. Friends, by what? It is by reading. Reading also uses our brain, right? Which means by reading, we can understand what it says. This will also reduce our time. Our precious time should not be lost when we have an easy and comfortable option in front of us. As I said before, if you know the use of fire, it will not harm you. And if you don't know the use of fire, it will completely harm you. The same way, if you know the use of internet, it will not harm you. But if you don't know the use of internet, it will completely harm you. Incredible urges to get away, not caring of what people say. They say there is a disease. Every second I'm in need. Without it, I freeze. Thank you.
Assalamu alaikum and a warm morning once again. Firstly, I believe my worthy opponents misinterpreted the topic as benefits of the internet. Also, I didn't prepare my speech from the internet, which is why it's focused on the point, unlike yours, which is not. Yes, I agree our ancestors did sit in
once again. My opponents say that the 85% of information on the web is false. Well, you took your speech from the internet too, right? Then your scripts must be false too. It is not the internet which is the issue. Rather, the one who sends these false messages and rumors should be blamed. Let me ask you a question. If a person writes something unpleasant on a piece of paper and passes to the other, who should be blamed? The person who writes or the piece of paper? Well, for my worthy opponents, they say the piece of paper which is just a tool should be blamed. Doesn't that sound silly? Dear friends, the internet is just a tool which was created for the benefit of mankind. But if mankind misuses it, why should the internet be blamed for that? Marshall McLuhan, a Canadian philosopher, said, "We shape our tools and thereafter our tools shape us." Utilize this tool in a proper way and you will surely be benefited. Thank you.
Opponents has made our job more easier. We always come up saying our ancestors said, but not by saying the internet said, because our ancestors were intelligent enough to say the truth and facts, unlike the internet flooded with fake news. I found many of my worthy opponents having the same counter sentence. Why, brothers? Maybe you all took the common sentence from the internet. I say, how ignorant the generation is now. And also, stop reviewing about phones. Almost everyone knows is not only judged by what good it does, but also its side effects. Mark these points, brothers. And yeah, our students, all credit goes to our super brain. And before concluding, our parents came up without all this technology. I have food to eat, house to sleep, clothes to wear. I'm wealthy enough. That's all from my side.
Last but not the least, I would recommend him to go to a heart specialist and make sure why his heart is saying false truths. The previous year's CBSE topper, who scored 99.6%, has a Facebook account, Instagram account, Twitter account, etc. Did he lose his memory? As said by my opponents. As one of my friends have said, that the internet reveals our privacy. So almost 90% of my opponents use Instagram, and their accounts are set to private. So is it revealing their email address they registered with? To say the least, I'm the last speaker, and it's almost the last second. And even now, if you search the internet, the information we get will be new and will never end. Thank you and have a wonderful day.
Our level of no. I can read from here. I think at least our level of ignorance is the topic, right? But what I saw today was not just the topic for which people or students, my mighty students on both sides, spoke for or against. That does not come into my mind now. Believe me, when I was a student in 7th standard for a debate, I used to believe that if I don't take part in for, if I'm speaking for against, I'm a loser. That was a misconception. That was a bad idea. But now, I have understood through exposure and experience, you speak for or against does not matter. But how you speak does matter. Would you agree with me or not? Great. I'm going to the next level of understanding. That was the main topic given by the school, not only to just find the truth. I think our principal will agree with us. It is only to improve and improvise your critical thinking skills, creativity, imagination, and your meticulous preparation. Did we see that on both sides? Yes, we did see that. But I want to tell you one more thing that leads you to develop your critical thinking skills in a positive manner. I like both the teams. There is no need to celebrate here as a winner or a loser. There is no winning or losing here. For me, all these 9 gems, I would say, students are gems here. And these 9 gems here, they did a wonderful job. Please give a round of applause. I would have missed something very important in my life today if I had not come and attended your debate. Excellent job. Believe me or not, the words they uttered, my hands were just moving here and there to take points or to give points. I was writing down pages and pages because the words which came from their mouth were not just words, they were articulated well, meticulously prepared, clarity, rationality, students' perception, individualism, your uniqueness. Wow, you are the people who rule the world later. Hats off to all of you. I was writing and writing and writing. There is no dearth of information now. Thank you, principal. Thanks the school administration. You have saved at least my 15 days of reading books. Thanks a lot. Within 2 hours. I've taken the points here which will keep me busy reading and chewing and digesting, which must have taken at least 2 weeks for me. You just gave it 2 hours. Amazing students, aren't they? Keep it up. That's all I can tell you. You are in no way inferior to anyone. You are great people. Take your hand there. Your hand. Please take it right now. Take it there. Take it there. I can improve. I can do it. See the power you have within you. I can do it, and you have done it. Forget the result. But your power has really empowered me. You have enthused me. You have made me a new person now. Wow, what a great information. Get with me, daughter. Excellent, excellent. Only thing I can say is, try to reduce your ungrammatical utterances here. For example, I heard a sentence which made me believe, come on, your debaters, orators, they don't use such sentences. For example, it has freezed our thinking capacity. Freezed or frozen doesn't take a lot of time to improve the corrections, please. There's another one which came out as internet does not gives this information. Does not gives. Your grammar teacher will not spare you. So be careful with those grammatical sentences, and help desk people when you are saying something, inviting people, you need to be more professional. Sorry for the information. I heard a sentence, well, that was convincing statement. Next I invite, because that is left to the audience to judge. If you give 1 point, perhaps the judges may be convinced, so that should be more professional. And of course, we had a wonderful time. I think my co-judge will agree with me. And of course, thanks for giving that half-a-minute time when we had the judging time. You are really rocking. ISJ is always number 1. Thank you very much. Thanks a lot.
Thank you, Dr. Lakshman. Those words were truly innovating for our young speakers.
Good afternoon. The one thing that I noticed today, my God, there was so much of passion on the stage. The way they were talking, it was just wonderful. I mean, amazing. Seriously. And it is this passion that distinguishes people who are headed towards a goal. I mean, if you have passion, you reach your goal. So, inshallah, all of you will. Because it was really passionate. And one more thing, debate. What is debate? When you deliberate and debate, you actually learn so many things. You know, at the university, when I teach students in the speaking club to come up on stage, they are very reticent. They're like, oh my God, I'm not going to be able to do it. It's going to be terrible. I'm going to stutter and lose everything. But once they do it, it changes them for life. That's what happens when you come up on stage. This moment, it rewrites your whole life and the way you're headed towards your goal. So I saw so many histories in the making. There were so many of you who were like, you were meant to be leaders, inshallah, all of you. And about the topic, there was one point that I would have liked mentioned a little bit further. It was about plagiarism. That's one big problem with the internet. I mean, the way people copy information from others and just the copy and paste syndrome. I think someone actually mentioned that. Yeah, here. Yes, the copy and paste syndrome. It's so rampant because of the internet, and that should have been stressed on a little bit more. And one more thing is
أفلا يتدبرون. And it says eloquently by the Creator Himself that don't you think, don't you ponder, and the month of reflection is coming very soon. So start thinking and reflecting for 1 full month. Thank you so much and congratulations.
Lakshman, Imran, Islam, teachers, students, and dear participants. It was a wonderful day for me, especially because today's debate was unique. It started with a wonderful talk by Dr. Altaf. I am myself a teacher of biology, and the way he compared RBCs to goodness and the functions, it was just wonderful. I was just sitting and wondering how he could compare the RBCs to inculcate values among the students. Jazakumullah khair, Doctor. We do hope that you will visit our school frequently. Secondly, regarding the debate, the judges have already expressed their opinion. I do agree with them. It was wonderful, and had it been possible, we could have given the winning trophies to both the teams. But then, we have to give it only to one of the teams, and we are waiting for the results. These young students have done a wonderful job. I think after a long time I could see not even a single student was not confident. All of them were so confident with appropriate use of body language, except here and there Mrs. Lubna and Dr. Lakshman has pointed out, there is a space for further improvement. Dr. Lakshman has pointed out, and likewise there was one more sentence like, I don't know who spoke it, it makes things more easier. That's not correct. So except for these tiny mistakes, it was a wonderful, wonderful debate, and I appreciate the selection of the topic by the chairman of the English department, a very good topic, very relevant, and by and large, it was fully covered. We are waiting for the results, and let me again reiterate that winning or losing is not important. In my opinion, all of you have won. You have done a wonderful job, and let's see. Here are the results for the best speakers for the team which spoke against the topic. The first position goes to Master Roman Ali Khan, who scored 75 points. The second position goes to Master Zakaria, scoring 78.5 points. And the first position, it goes to your right, Master Farhan Bashir, scoring 81 points. We have the best rebuttal from Master. It is shared between two contestants. Master Roman Ali Khan scoring 26.5 points.
May I request the second round to proceed to the stage?
Master Roman Ali Khan. And Master Zakaria, sharing equal points, 26.5. And here are the results for the best speakers for the team which spoke for the topic. The third position goes to Master Zayan Zakir, scoring 72 points. The second position goes to Master Tariq Wahab, scoring 78 points. And the first position, in your opinion? It's okay. It goes to Master Muad P. The best rebuttal award goes to Master Christian Bob. Now for the teams.
Mr. Altaf and Ms. Lubna to the stage.
Dr. Altaf, please. And for the team championship, it was a very keen competition. Very, very keen. With a very minor difference. The team which won, the competition is the team which spoke for the topic.
May I request the participants to please come and receive prizes. First, I request Master Science Rocket to receive the prize. Science Rocket, Master Muhammad Mansoor. Moving on, we have Master Ahmed Javed. Next in line, Master Christian Babu, followed by Master Muad, Master Yunus Khan, and Tariq Wahab. Our last speaker, Master Samir and Master Zakaria.
sir, for your inspiring and enlightening words. May I now invite Master Muhammad Faiz of class 95 to propose a vote of thanks.
School Principal Mr. Syed Masood Ahmad, Vice Principal, Headmaster and Mistress of Wales Dogs, teachers and all my fellow friends. A very warm good afternoon and Assalamu alaikum to one and all. It's a great privilege for me to extend a vote of thanks for everyone, those who have made this event a great memorable one. First of all, I thank all the guests and judges for coming out of their very important schedule to attend this debate. English Department of 9-12 Boys Section has been the driving force behind the whole event. Their vision, interest and hard work has once again culminated in another success story. I wish to thank the 4 team and the engaged team, especially the captains who have worked extremely hard, both in the foreground and background. It was not at all an easy task.